oh life. I'm afraid of the dark, especially when I'm in a park and there's no one else around. Ooh, I get the shivers. I don't wanna see a ghost. It's a sight that I fear most. I'd rather have a piece of toast, watch the evening news. Life, oh life, oh life, oh life. Do 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 life, oh life, oh life, oh life. Do do do. I'm a superstitious girl. I'm the worst in the world. Never walk under ladders. I keep a rabbit's tail. I'll take you up on a dare. Anytime, anywhere. Name the place, I'll be there. Bungee jumping, I don't care. Life, oh life, oh life, oh life. Do 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 life, oh life, oh life, oh life. Do 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 life, do 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 do.
There's a read there with music titled Life, and indeed life, huh? It's not fair, is it? It's not fair at all. Listen, our main conversation is just about coming up your way. This is Love in the Morning on Love 99.5. Time check from the studios of Love 99.5 is some 27 minutes to hit 8 o'clock. For your information, Cecilia Dapaah has resigned as the Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources after it came to light that her domestic staff, her house girls and stuff, stole huge sums of money from her bedroom. Now, it's reported that the domestic staff, for example, stole $1 million from her room. They also stole 300,000 euros from her room. They also stole 350,000 Ghana cedis plus other items from jewelry to shoes to bags to kente cloths and many others. So this morning, we're here and we're asking, what do you make of Cecilia Dapaah's cash issue? What do you make of it? Cecilia Dapaah's cash issue. What do you make of it? Now, we have a WhatsApp number. It is 05511119995. Pick up your phone and record a voice note and send it in. We'll play it for the rest of the world to get to know what your thoughts are relating to, this cash issue relating to Cecilia Dapaah. Now, as I speak, Kate is manning our Facebook page right now. So we're live on Facebook on LUV 99.5 FM. So join us there on Facebook and you can drop comments there as well. All right. So as I speak, I've got Eugene Osetutu with me. And we'll be, having a conversation around this. Eugene, once again, good morning to you.
David, good morning.
I said good morning. I don't know what's really good about that morning. Some of the news items you hear, they hit you so hard. And you, for example, you travel a lot to some of the, rural areas, and you see the conditions under which some people school, conditions under which some people drink water, attend healthcare, and all that. And you come to, the cities, and you hear stories where people have huge sums of monies. I was telling somebody over the weekend that, for example, if I have 100 Ghana cedis right now in 1 cedi notes, if you pull out 3 cedis out of the 100 Ghana cedis, I will not even get to realize that some amount has been taken away. So if in a minister's house, $1 million has been taken away without her knowing, and it took the husband coming back from town to realize that, listen, they locked their bedroom door before they left and the door has been opened. And then he realizes that there's a house girl behind the door. It means that the amount of money in there is really huge. But take a minute or two. For those who might not get to know what it is that led to the resignation of this, minister for, the sanitation and water resources. Fill them in. What are the events that culminated in her resignation?
Yeah, David. So I think on Friday, the Chronicle newspaper broke the news. And I've actually learnt later that it's been happening for a while, but it seems it went under the radar. And so Ghana.
Meaning they've been in court for a while.
Yeah, they've been in court for a while, but the issue was under the radar. Yeah. And the Chronicle newspaper broke it, I think, on Friday morning when the papers came out, the dailies. Yeah. But David, so let me start it this way. On Friday, we learned that the now ex-Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Madam Cecilia Dapaah, a former minister under Papa Kofi, a former MP for Bantama for 2 terms, had gone to court to cause the arrest of 2 of her house helps and other accomplices, 2 boyfriends and a father, so 5 people. And the issue was that per the charge sheet, and me, I'm not using any media report or anything, per the court document. And if I say the court document, this was the amended charge sheet. That's what the document says, and it will be shown on our social media. It's given to Kate, so people will see. So you know that it's a court sheet. So if you haven't seen the charge sheet, please join us on Facebook.
Yes. Take your own time and peruse it. Take your own time and go through it. So you can join us on Facebook on LUV 99.5 FM. Please do that.
So it's not like Obi say this is a charge sheet from the court and this is an authority. That is what I'm using. So it's the Republic version because it's a criminal matter. So the state of Ghana is standing in the stead of Mrs. Cecilia Dapaah and the husband, Mr. Kufuor Osei, who is an architect. And David, let me also correct a notion. I think I even went to that when I was on insurance Saturday, that the husband was suspected to be the former Secretary to President Kufuor, Ambassador DK Osei. Per the information you have, that is not the husband. The husband rather is an architect who also has some background in data science and done a lot of work when it comes to embassies. Most of the embassy buildings he built it. And the firm is, I think, Kufuor and Sony partners. The Sony are German, so he's kind of one of Ghana's renowned architects. And he's even, per the report I've heard, he attended K University, did his MA, that is Masters in Architecture from K University, and has even headed the K University Architectural department before. So that is also established. Now, David, back to the case. So it's the Republic versus 5 people. As I said, Patience Botche, Sarah, Jay, these are the 2 households. Then Benjamin Sowa, Malek Dabo, the 2 boyfriends, and Kweku Botche, who is also the father of one of the households.
Patience is only 18 years old.
Yes, David. So per the case, the minister found out that, and per the charge sheet, $1 million are missing. 300, you see, normally the media report will say undisclosed millions of cedis. Per the charge, we know it's 353.5 billion Ghana cedis, then 300,000 euros, then some kente clothes, so 6 pieces of men's suits valued at $3,000, sorry, and there were also 6 pieces of assorted kente clothes, that is 90,000 Ghana cedis. So all these things were missing. And apparently, the robbery didn't happen in a day. It's been happening for close to a year. They only found out because the husband of Madam Cecilia had gone out. They have a master bedroom and they've locked the room. When he came back, he saw the door was a bit opened and he heard some noises from there. So he went to the place and he saw the house girl, 18-year-old Patience, but hiding behind the door. That was when it aroused their suspicion that something untoward has gone on. For almost a year, they didn't notice. And David, there's also, kids can get you a picture of a $1 million. So for them not to notice was when people felt that then there may be more millions in the house. Because David, maybe 5 CD cry 5 CD. So for them not to notice these sums were missing clearly shows that there's a propensity or the probability that there may be more millions. And so David, this is what has happened. Then when the news broke on Saturday, a statement was released. I was very curious because the spellings were a bit shaky, but it was later confirmed.
The name of Cecilia.
Yeah, the lady, the minister. She's not a lady. The minister confirmed on our sister station TV3 that statement is coming from her. And she wanted to correct certain erroneous impression about the sums. But that's why I said I've not replied to any media. This is the issue from the court. So she should rather
the charge sheet. The charge sheet. And even with amended, charge sheet, you realize that the figures that we were privy to are still maintained. The only change or difference is amount of money given to the boyfriend.
Yes, David, and even that on the third. So the people are facing 10 counts. Only 6 talks about the husband, and they use an interesting phrase. So for example, if you are reading, let me just read for you count 2. For example, I'm just out of it, so you can go to Facebook and read. It says that Patience Botche, 18-year-old hairdresser, Sarah J, 30-year-old unemployed between the period of July and October 2022 at Abelemkpe in the Greater Accra region and within the jurisdiction of the court, did dishonestly appropriate the sum of $1 million. And they will look at the phrasing. The property of Cecilia Dapaah. So now the third count, all of them alluded to the property. Only the seed count alluded to the phrase the property of Daniel Kufuor Osei, which is the husband of Madam Cecilia Dapaah.
As a Ghanaian, how do you feel about this whole thing? The fact that and as we speak, we cannot say whether the monies were ill-gotten or not. But as a Ghanaian, how do you feel hearing this?
Well, David, my only issue is with the president. And I think that President Akufo-Addo should hasten slowly when it comes to some of these things and trying to whitewash and make his appointees look clean. David, the president was emphatic in the early embers of his presidency. Said that if you want to make money, not in my government. But all
right. So let me let's take your word for it.
Okay.
So Leo, yes, no, the other one, yes. No, yeah, play that one for us. That's the president.
I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money.
That was in 2016 December, and the applause tells you that people were in love with that very statement.
Oh, David, even when he won power, he was appointing his ministers. He would do a press forum and all that. He reiterated those calls. I cannot understand why the president always wants to make seemingly prejudicial and judgmental issues. Why the haste? I mean, what is it? Because David,
what is it? His acceptance letter. The last paragraph says, "I am confident like you," referring to Cecilia Dapaah. "I'm confident like you that at the end of the day, your integrity, whilst in office, will be fully established. I wish you the very best in all your endeavors." But the problem you have is where he says, "I am confident like you that at the end of the day, your integrity would be,
David,
restored."
You remember what I said about send-off. I'm not by this saying that the fair gentleman of the land do not have to make certain or his right to free speech should be taken away because I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that when you live in a country where most of these state institutions that are charged with the mandate to investigate corruption, their leaders are appointed by you. One. And David, you are also the fair gentleman of the land. You are the commander-in-chief of Ghana's armed forces. You are the foremost moral compass when it comes to the ethos, social, whatever of our country. If you make such comments, you are giving impetus to your ministers to do all these things that they do because they know that the man who appointed them will always stand with them no matter what. I would have wished that you accept the resignation, you thank her for it because why baby? We can't say she's also not done anything for this country. She's done something. Thank her for her service, then wish her well. But for you to go and say that I'm confident like you, that you'll be exonerated and vindicated in the coming time. And it's a bit far-fetched.
And he did not even say that he's going to ask the appropriate agencies to look into it with a matter of speed. Even as we speak, the special prosecutor, we have not heard from him yet.
Well, David, my point is that I also do not think the president should call the special prosecutor. He knows the mandate and of the office he occupied. But the point I'm making is that the president and his handlers should be careful about some of these things. You remember the comment he made at a send-off?
Why would you vote for somebody whose one foot is in prison?
Exactly. When you do that, then you're a lawyer. You are making prejudicial comment. The case is in court. It has not been determined. Why should I do not mind if a minister or an MPP communicator makes those commentaries? That's allowed. But when you are the president, certain utterances must be guided. Must be guided.
But what I was saying,
I'm careful because
what I was saying about the statement in terms of the acceptance letter from the president. You say you've heard so and so happening out there, and I've accepted your resignation letter. Go on and say I'm referring the matter to. We know that the office of the special prosecutor can act upon them, so they can get up and chase and investigate. But to give the Ghanaian the assurance that indeed you are interested in fighting if there's any illegality in any corruption in there, say this matter should be investigated. But say it, but you don't say that one. You skip that one and say the person will be exonerated at the end of the day.
David, what are you expecting?
It is disappointing.
See, the worst corruption perception index under President Mahama, when you take the Afrobarometer report, was I think 43. The best corruption perception index under Akufo-Addo, Mahama's worst. It's Akufo-Addo's best corruption perception index. This is not me. This is Afrobarometer survey done by the Transparency International and the Ghana Integrity Initiative, which is the local chapter for Transparency International. The president has the poorest corruption perception index in about 20 years. When you take again the CDD report they do when it comes to trust in state institutions, and these are corruption perception index. It may not be the reality, but the perception. That is what I'm saying, that your utterances must engender certain confidence. It mustn't come out clear of what people say that you're a clearing agent. When you do that, you are worsening the perception people have about your government when it comes to corruption. Again, the same CDD report, when you want to look at the perception index about the performance of the president, approval rating, basically, he has the worst since about Kufuor. In the last 20 years, the president of the West, even Kufuor, when Kufuor was even about to exit power in 2008, his approval ratings was over 70%. Was over 70%. President Kufuor is doing about 32%. So it means that when you take 10 Ghanaians, only three believe he's done something. But Kufuor was having about 7. I'm comparing two MPP regimes, and anybody can reference a document. And the document is the CDD report, the last one that they did. So I'm saying that how I feel as a Ghanaian about this story. The saddest part of it was what the president said. You do not do that, David. You see, this government, there's been a lot of instances. Boache Jakun, Ameri's issue, the Edubwa, his son, the deputy minister Badana's issue, the Bukri guy who was a minister of state in the Upper West trying to bribe a journalist to kill a story. Lot of crossing person, the Australian visa scandal, a lot of them.
Even if this finance minister in the office of the finance ministry, Charles,
I mentioned that's the Dubai son. He was the minister of state.
He also had to resign.
Yes. So all that I'm saying is that there's been a lot of them, but there seem not to be finality when it comes to some of these matters. So I'm thinking that the president on this should have just hastened slowly and allow the processes to grind. David, when I read the profile and I made it clear on Isha, and I said the preamble for my presentation, I do not think the woman is a thief. It's not been established. It will be foolhardiness and prejudicial on my part as a journalist to do that. When you read the profile of the husband, if he has $50 million, I don't doubt it, based on the work he's done. But we do not know, right? But when you are the president, you may even have a prima facie case to say that they have the capacity to own that money. Yes, but I'm saying that hastening slowly. And David, again, it is not a crime to keep even 100 billion in your house. But the optics, you get it. It's the optics. You're a serving minister of state. You're a public official.
Well,
the optics.
What's the information minister himself have come out to say, for example, that listen, our FX, our CD to the dollar is struggling. Don't hoard it. Don't hoard CD dollars. And here you have a minister of state having such amount of dollars in her home.
And again, David. Again, I've said that it's not a crime to keep money in your house based on what the lawyers are saying. 2, it is not beyond the capacity of the husband and the minister to have that money, but the optics. Now, 3, there's the point. David, if $1 million can be taken from your resources at home and you cannot notice for close to a year,
and that's why I mentioned. That's why I mentioned that if you have, let's say, 100 Ghana cedis in one cedi notes, if somebody draws 3 cedis from it, you don't notice. So it tells you that the dollars we're talking about in her residence is huge.
Exactly the point I'm making. Huge. And David, I'm even picking information that even banks are not allowed to keep certain amount of money at their vault.
Charlie.
So is the minister running the savings and loans? We need to question that. And David, again, another curious thing that you are not looking at, and maybe you will come there, is how an 18-year-old comes by this money, gives an ex-boyfriend 1 million cedis, goes for another guy, buys a Lantra for the guy, changes the car of the guy to a Honda Civic. And again, another flip side, as parents, you know the work your child is doing, gives you 50,000 cedis.
To the father, yeah.
No questions.
100,000.
David, maybe within the week we need to.
No, we'll look at the girls bit later and the role of parenting and all this. But one other thing that comes to mind. So we have gone to the IMF once again, haven't we? We're looking for 3 billion. Now, if the IMF, the World Banks and co hear such stories, what image are we portraying for our own selves as a nation? A minister, $1 million has been stolen. 350,000 Ghana cedis, 300,000 euros. We tells you that or more, and yet you come and say, Charlie, you are a developing country, you need help. Your economy is bad, you don't have money, you want a loan. What are we telling the international bodies?
David, when COVID happened and President Akufo-Addo said we were in this together, I believed him. When he said we know how to bring back the economy to life but not life, I believed him. But then post-COVID, the posture, and especially post-2020, and I've said it countless times, and without fear or favor, President Akufo-Addo changed after he secured the second mandate. Everything the man has done affirms that. And David, the apogee of that position was what we, and I always reference that. In 2016, he dare not speak like that, with the greatest of respect. When Captain Koda interviewed him at Tech FM about the Rosa Kwabre, he said, he secured 80,000 votes from that constituency. And for the president, and David, he didn't speak in the Greater Accra region. To speak in the Ashanti region and make that utterance was the apogee, was the apex of that disinterested posture after the 2020 election when he secured the second mandate. And David, you see, when you even look at some of how the COVID expenditure was done, and David, I'm basing this on COVID because there are people saying that there are certain contracts that were awarded because debt and insanitary conditions was kind of a catalyst when it comes to the COVID and what happened. So her ministry got some money. I cannot prove it. That is what people are saying. I do not have the document to prove that. So I'm drawing COVID just to make my point. Now, David, when the president says we are in this together, what people went through COVID, people couldn't afford meals because, David, our economy is a hand-to-mouth economy. So for us to go lockdown and all that, and for us to see, it may be your money again. I'm saying the optics where you are keeping close to $2 million because they want to aggregate the money and the things. We are hitting to about $2 million, and they couldn't identify. So there may be more.
So you're talking about what happened during COVID, and money that might have come through. Take a listen to Cecilia Dapaah when she was being quizzed out of. So an amount of $200 million was supposed to come in. You got $43 million. How did you spend the money? So you talk about the decision for Odo, and take a listen to her.
You claim that your ministry had 43 million out of the $200 million. How was that 43 million applied?
Mr. Chairman, I have given the components out is to cap about 5 heaps around Tantan, and then.
So if you listen to the response she gave, how satisfactory was it? And if it wasn't satisfactory, couldn't the panel have gone further to peruse and ascertain for themselves what the $43 million was used for?
David, when you look at the way we run our audit service, for example, it's after the effect. So the auditing is done after whatever. You see, we do not have strong institutions to police some of these things. That is why, David, again, I come back to the point that when issues of financial impropriety is reported of any minister, it is not the place of the president, with the greatest of respect, to make pronouncements that are prejudicial, that can weigh on the conscience of state institutions with the mandate to investigate. Now, all these issues people are claiming about contractual infractions and all that, it is for certain state institutions, Yoko, Shraj, and all that. Even about asset declaration. When the minister was being sworn in, what was her asset? What was in her account? Today, what is there? And if the film pony, maybe a bank. Exactly. So when the president makes such comment, it can weigh on the conscience and posturing of state institutions charged with the mandate to do some of these things. So it is not even in the interest of the minister, because David, you see, with the greatest of respect, some of them are friends. Some of them beyond politics have led lives, right? They are men of substance. But again, the optics, let the person go through the motions, clear his name or her name, or otherwise go through the prosecution processes. It's normal. I do not understand why in the opposition they understand it, but when they come to government, they call it witch hunting. It's not proper.
And it beats my mind. But again, if you look at the letter from the presidency, or signed by the president accepting her resignation, another part of the letter says, I accept your resignation and I applaud your loyalty to the image and the standing of the government. the work you undertook during your period in government was excellent and productive. Yet you told us that you're going to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. Was Accra the cleanest city in Africa?
Well, David, you see, again, that's what I'm saying. That you see, when such statement emanate, it opens the Pandora box, and if you are not careful, you find trouble for the minister. A whole ministry, and David, let me even go there. A whole ministry was created for sanitation and water resources. David, under this minister, what is the state of sanitation? And when you open the phone, the caller should judge it. You listen to the Joy News and the People's Perception about
her neighbors. Yes, we're talking here.
Yes, you see, go to Accra. The last time our friend, the Asampa guy, came and said, Kumasi bond. That's what I said. Kumasi bond. Go to KGTR by now. Go and look at the state of KGTR. So, David, when you appoint a whole ministry, and for me, I'm even further disappointed in the statement released by Eugene Ahen, the communication director for the presidency, that in the due time, a new minister, and I'm hearing the MP for Efijasi, may be the one to replace her. David, what has the sanitation ministry done that the local government ministry weren't doing? Nothing. Either you just merge the ministry and hand it over to Damboche, who's already the minister for local government, or if you want to, environment, where Kwamina Frimpong Boateng was and the new minister is there. So, David, the point I'm making is that our economy is already not at a good place. Maybe God even allowed this to happen so that we reduce ministers. Who knows? But I'm just saying that the minister is gone. The president is saying loyalty made to what? You promise Accra to be the cleanest city. I doubt it's even in the top 5. I have not checked, but I doubt it's in the top 5. The minister is no more based on an event that has happened. Just merge the ministry. Already, you have just about a year to go on your presidency. You know, for us to just bring a new minister, he also come in to take certain cars, increase the salary, the perks of it. He also come with PAs. And then, do you know how the ghost names come about? These PAs and personal assistants, they are not civil servants ordinarily. Those people are supposed to be work for the ministries. They do not trust them. So they'll bring their PAs, find a way to pay them. Then later they say ghost names. So let's not do this to our economy.
So let's do this. I mean, for the benefit of those who may trivialize the amount of $1 million, like somebody I know of is doing the whole morning. I haven't mentioned any name yet, but he knows himself. What can $1 million do, let's say, in our educational sector? For pupils who are in school.
David, I'm uncomfortable doing this because I don't know whether it's a money or not a money. But if you ask me about what $1 million can do, I think I listened to Tue Champong, a good friend, and he was saying that when you come to Ghana, so for example, today $1 million will be at just about 12 million Ghana cedis. Roughly. When the government of Ghana builds 6-unit classroom block, it's about $1 million. It's roughly 800,000. But when NT and other corporate institutions do it, we do it about 400 and 500. But our government says 800. Okay, so it means that we can do about 14 to 15 6-unit classroom blocks with offices and everything. Now, David, another thing $1 million can do, for example. David, I'm not comfortable doing this, but $1 million, David, wow.
Even people are drinking from water sources with animals, but they don't have proper water.
But David, you know $1 million. Try to count the government budgeting. It's no money.
I mean, yes, very, very, very.
Yes. But when you talk about
but this is one minister, and there's an amount of money she has lost. Baby, that's all whole. How much are ministers paid at the end of the month? Well, David, what are the allowances that they get? Such that we can amass such amount of money? Come on.
Well, David, if you're a minister and you are not, because her position is not a cabinet position. The last time I checked, there are 19 cabinet ministers. I didn't see her name. I stand to be corrected. I do not know for sure. She's not a member of parliament, and she's not a cabinet. So it's roughly, I think it's between 15 to 22,000.
Let's even 30,000.
Yeah.
And she'll spend out of that 30,000. And we're talking about having such.
What do they buy? We give them security, everything, accommodation.
You say you don't want to go there. Somebody has done some sort of analysis.
Do we know her private ventures? I mean, if she had business.
Exactly. That you see, Leo's point is genuine. It's genuine. That's why I'm saying that I didn't want to go into a certain area because I do not know personally. I have certain information I cannot share. But I'm saying that it is for the right authorities to investigate, to know the point. So
if we were in a serious country, by now, these authorities, these agencies would have started work already. But because it's Ghana, and things are allowed to slide. That's why we are where we are.
But then,
right
David, you also acknowledge the fact that
somebody has done some analysis too. You say you don't want to talk about the school building and all that. And this says, listen, let's assume that you are part of the middle class in Ghana, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a businessman, or let's say a banker. Your take-home salary after taxes and all deductions is like 20,000 Ghana cedis. At the current exchange rate of 11 cedis, $1 to 11 cedis 50 pesos, it will take you 48 years to make 1 million. And let's also assume that you are a small business owner and your monthly profit is 50,000. At the current exchange rate of 11, cedis 50 pesos per dollar, it will take you approximately 20 years to make $1 million. Now, 75% to 90% of Ghanaians will never see this kind of money till they die. But this was stolen from a politician, and she didn't even realize it was missing. Listen, you can call us on 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. Call us now. Your own thoughts about this Cecilia Dapaah, cash issue. What are your thoughts? Join us on the phone lines right now. But we're not asking you to come and insult. Keep your contributions civil and diplomatic. But speak your mind anyway. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. David Akwete. I hope you are fine with the family, sir.
Christopher, I am well. Good to have you on the show.
Good. David, I hope this time around you will not take us off from the line. Or you are fond of doing that. David,
Christoph, if you come and insult or you make unsubstantiated points, I will take you off.
I never insult. David, you see, what is happening there? This is just a figment of whatever we are all expecting. David, let's take a head count. Let's go to all the ministers' houses unannounced and check. They have similar amount of money in their rooms. David, you see, people don't even know the degree and the gravity of this whole thing. Look, let me walk you through. David, this money being siphoned by house helps almost every day. And they never noticed, Madame Cecilia Dapaah and the husband never noticed until one day, one of the house helps was caught red-handed. David, they never such amount have been taken from them until one day, one of the house helps was caught right in the act, and that pricked them to now do a thorough search, and upon doing that, realizing that such amount is taken away from them. So there's a huge amount of money in there, even more than $2 million. David, and if you are saying that a president will always prejudice a case, anytime that the president will come and say, "Oh, I know you declared. Oh, I know this guy." Do you remember cash for seats? Cash for seats. The same president came and said that this guy that they are saying that he comes to my office. You see,
Christoph de Krakra, time is not our friend right now. We've moved on. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
And your name is? Right, let's hear you.
Today I'm going to be philosophical, and I'm going to give Bible verses. The first one is 1 Corinthians 10:12. 1 Corinthians 10:12, and the other is 1 Corinthians 10:23. All things are lawful, but not all things are helpful. And then the end is that is the other one, the 10:12. The end is I'm going to ask simple questions. Madam Cecilia Dapaah, how many years has she been in public office? 2000, I believe she was in President Kofo's administration. Is it not possible that she can have that amount? I'm not trying to justify her having the money, but is it not possible that individually she has that amount of money? Is it not possible that even in Ghana we have individuals that will have that amount of money themselves? And I'm going to give my own friend Kosichum. Can Kosichum have $1 million? He can, and I believe there are a lot of people that can have. But you see, we are trying to make certain things that I'm not justifying what she has done, but I'm saying that there might come a point in time where we will have people not willing to join or be politicians Because anything that comes, the first thing that we come or we think of is that it's due to corruption. And you have people like Osichum, you have people that enjoy, and then you have people that even big people. I don't want to mention names. That would even want to be in.
No, we thank you very much. And I'm sure that you heard us say along the line that listen, we have not condemned her. We have not said that she has stolen money. But at least the people you mentioned, we know that they do some business. They're into some private businesses they do. We know that they are doing their own business. For all we know about this lady, for what I know for now, is that she was in public office. That's all I can say for now. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
I'm Hassan, and popularly known as Champagne. You see, David, I like this program this morning. I don't know. What's the name of the other panelist with you?
Eugene.
Oh, Eugene. Big up to him. Honestly, I love his presentations, and he was very careful. And even if he's not careful, he will bring more. Honestly, Ghana is no more Ghana we used to know. For somebody to have $1 million and someone takes something away from the $1 million, that means the person has $1 billion. Trust me. So, like you said, had it been a different country, things would have changed by now. At least she would have been invited by CID or any department. But this is Ghana for you. Akufo-Addo is the person we can never trust and give Ghana to. It's time people should realize that it's not about MPP or NDC or who I love. It's about who can do the best job we want. At least you can't do all, but who is better than who? That's something we need to be looking at. Because Akufo-Addo is always on his people. Whenever somebody did something wrong, he's the first person to come out and clear the person. What do you want us to say as the president of the land? Thank you very much.
Well, Champagne, like you said, that's your nickname. Thanks for joining us this morning. Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning, David.
Yes, boss. Please turn out the volume on your radio for me and then go ahead, sir.
David, I've done that.
Thank you.
David, this is Erasmus speaking.
Good to have you, Erasmus. Please go ahead.
Yeah, David. It's unheard of. I'm actually shocked with the presentation made by the second caller. Fine, the woman might have worked for all these while, but the point and the spotlight is she's a public officer. You see, David, when people are coming from outside to Ghana, there are certain amount of money they should keep. If you go beyond that amount, you'll be questioned. As a public officer, are you supposed to keep that huge sum of money in your house? David, from what Eugene was saying, probably there might be more. Just that it's the little that was stolen that has come out. You see, when we have people, and it's unfortunate the president could make that prejudicial statement by saying it will be cleared. What does he mean by that?
He didn't say she'll be cleared. He didn't say that. He says he's confident, like that's Cecilia, that at the end of the day, her integrity, whilst in office, will fully be established. He didn't say he was going to be cleared. He didn't say that.
David, when somebody say that, what does that mean? We can make inferences, David.
That I will give you that, yes.
Yes. So I'm only making inferences from what the president said. David, you see, I told you last week, Ghana has no future. With these people in office, Ghana has no future. The youth, we don't have any future. And like I'm writing, history of this country, Akufo-Addo is the worst scam Ghana has ever had as a political leader.
Those are the thoughts of Erasmus there. What are yours? 03220-83596, 83597, 83598. You can also give us a call and we'll engage with you. All right. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello. Good morning, Dave.
Yes, boss. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Isaac.
Isaac, good to have you, sir.
Yeah, good morning to you and all the panelists. That's all. This issue, I hear people justifying it, saying that it might be monies that she took from the funerals that she recently had. I've heard other people give examples that she might have sold some land, like a whole lot of defenses. You see, for me, the issue isn't about the money, probably how she got it or not, but the issue has to do with the fact that what message is she sending to those of us in the country as to whether we need to trust the banking sector or not. You are able to keep $1 million in your house, which from the narratives is even more than that, because you didn't even realize that the money had been stolen until one maid was seen red-handed. You see, so Dave, seriously, it's serious. So I think that the appropriate authorities must start investigating this matter and then go into, if it's a legitimate money, the taxes must be paid on the money. And did she even pay those taxes and all that? You see, there are more questions than answers to this issue. So I think that a proper investigation has to be done. Thank you.
Isaac there. Let's now speak to Ken. Hi, Ken. Welcome. Good morning.
David, good morning. You know what? For me, I don't have problem with that woman having this huge amount of money in his house or her room, sorry. But what I'm much concerned about is Ghana is in this state of getting to kind of collapsing, and we need money. We need assistance. We need to put our hands together. So like Nana Kweku said, there are people out there with money, huge amount of money. Being patriotic, at least, when you told me, Ken, to tighten my belt, so that I can get, Ghana can get some money from me, I don't have enough. So those of them that Nana Kweku did mention, those that have piled a lot of money in their rooms, closet, they should bring it out so that they can help Ghana with it. You know, yesterday I called my big brother, Kojo Nkrumah. He didn't pick my call. I wanted to advise him to advise his people that we need money. They should bring it out and help us with it. Good morning.
Good morning, Ken. Thanks for joining us. Samuel, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dave.
Welcome, Sammy.
I hope you are doing well.
Well, the Lord is my shepherd, sir. I'm well.
Yeah. What has happened, Madam Cecilia Dapaah? Ghanaians are crying, we are talking, but if we should put our minds to it, this is not new. It's not new. Every politician in Ghana, do you see the hardcore frontline politicians criticizing? No, they know they are doing this. Recently, the director bought a whole team. He's in opposition. So where did he get the money from? He did not take bank loan when he was interviewed. Okija could buy brand new Toyota Corolla and be distributing to nurses. Oh, this has said for a longer period of time in my constituency. It is not new. They all have it. And let me say something. Ghanaians, that's why I say we are not putting our minds to it. What are we seeing now? A Kufuado and MPP almost did this. So whenever they come, that is what is on their minds. So they come and you have a lot of these politicians who have been in the house for 8 good years. I know some ministers and NDC they have not done any work. They jump from one radio station to another, talking for NDC, but they are changing us, new ones. Where are they getting the money from? So these things, Ghanaians, I think we need to rise up one day and then tell them that enough is enough. Because in politics, this is you are talking about. That's why, let me say something. I'm a teacher. I completed training course in 97. How many years now? I bought bonds for 50,000. And now my life is shattered because for that time, people are saying they are taking the money because they have spent all the monies of Ghana. And now I sit and be thinking days and nights, sometimes I don't sleep. Just 50,000. But I don't care because look at Daddy. Who is Daddy? But now he can do radio stations, he can do all of sort of things because his uncle or his cousin or whatever it is.
Samuel, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us, Sammy there. Roman Father, good morning, sir. Roman Father.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is that Roman Father?
My name is Roman Father.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Roman Father speaking from Atosu. Please, I want to Ghanaians, we should take our time, especially the NDC people. They are talking too much about the case about Mrs. Cecilia Dapaah. They don't know. You go and check. But love FM, I think you are in Kumasi. Go and check Cecilia Dapaah, his background. He has money. At the same time, his husband has money. And the time that from 1990 up to this time, you just check. Me, the only thing is worrying me that he is a honorable man, so he should have done a honorable thing. Why put that money inside his own room? He has put that money into bank. That is it. But don't say it, but because he is in the minister, he cannot have that money. No. Since 1990, I woman, for I'm saying it. Go and check his bank at Bantman. That money, he can have it more than that.
We hear you.
True. I must tell you the truth.
Father. We appreciate the call. Kwabena, good morning.
Politics about this. To politics. Not about Cecilia.
Well, let's not speak to Kwabena there. Kwabena, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, David. Hello, David. Can you hear me?
Kwabena, please go ahead.
Okay, so David, I think that for me, from where I sit and the nation where it's got into, I don't think that this is news. It's something that actually happens. We've not concluded the case, but we all know what happens in our country. David, I was saying, I feel that sometimes we are a bit, we don't want to face the realities, and it's difficult for us as a nation to be able to stick our neck out and say this is wrong. Are we saying that we don't know that there are some police people that continually sit on our roads and collect money? I just came from the road. They are there stopping vehicles. There's this unnecessary stopping vehicles, and we are in traffic. The indiscipline for me that happens in this country, David, if we don't change our attitude, and that's the reason why we have something like this. It's all over. There are a lot of people that are criminals. There are thieves within this system. And that is the reason why some people will feel that, yes, they've gotten to a certain level because of certain positions they occupy. And then I feel that it's an attitude change. Now, a small boy coming to, for instance, the police will know that that happens there. I'm so furious this morning because you keep us in traffic just to collect money. For what reason? And that's the reason why we have our leaders also doing similar things. David, thanks.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Let's speak to our final caller, and it's in Edu. Edu, good morning. Hello, Edu.
Hello, Dave.
Yes, good morning, Edu. Let's hear you, sir.
Okay, Dave, please tell me out on this. See, I schooled in China, and in one of the hospitals that are affiliated to my school, one day we just got up in the morning and we heard that the head of the school has been taken by the police. And his crime was that as the head of the hospital, whenever these pharmaceutical companies come around with drugs, he has a percentage. They give him a cut on the drugs they bring. So it's like a bidding war. This company wants their drugs to be sold. This one also, they give him a percentage of how many drugs you can sell for us. And that was his crime. Within 24 hours, every single poster, every single achievement of his had been erased from the hospital. And he had been arrested. They ransacked his home, took every single amount of money in his home. What do I mean? Dave, it's like we are not serious as a country. We are not angry enough. The kind of democracy we are practicing is not helping us. It's like we copied black and white, and it's not helping us. And people are benefiting, so they don't see the need why we should improve upon what we are doing. Because people are saying that, oh, you don't know, she can have this amount of money. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I know, I think you can't even withdraw more than $10,000 from a bank. So let's see how many withdrawals it will take you to be able to have over $1 million in your house withdrawals from the bank. And whichever business that you do, if your client can pay you up to $1 million or more than $1 million for a client to pay you that amount of money, it means it's not legitimate business they are doing. No serious businessman will pay you a lot of dollars by cash. It's not done. So how did she manage to withdraw if the money was in your bank account, assuming?
Like she has said, she's going to avail herself for any agency who that comes up to investigate. But this is not the last of the conversation on Cecilia Dapaah, because even on Joy 99.7 right now, that is the conversation that has just begun on the Super Morning Show. So we'll cross over to Joy for more on Cecilia Dapaah.
Out there saying that, look, that is not the amount of money, be that as it may. We do not want this matter to come and worry the political party and its electoral fortunes, and so we will resign and then be prepared to appear before whatever